From the Blues Hotel Collective, welcome to Blues Moments in Time, where every groove holds a memory and every moment echoes the truth of what came before. Today, we rewind the reel, trace the footsteps, and revisit the chapters that shaped the blues. Here is our host, Kelvin Huggins.
Welcome to Blues Moments in Time, the podcast dedicated to exploring the rich history and the cultural significance of blues music. I'm Kelvin Huggins. Today we're stepping into the stories that unfolded on March 7. We begin with the cultural landscape. On March 7, 1965, cameras focused on a bridge in Selma, Alabama, and captured a sense that would shock the world. Hundreds of peaceful marchers led by John Lewis and Hosea Williams walked toward the Edmund Pettus Bridge to demand one simple thing: the right to vote. As they crossed, they met a wall of state troopers, tear gas and clubs. The day became known as Bloody Sunday. For the communities that birthed the blues, this wasn't an abstract news story. It was their daily reality, laid bare on national television. The fear, the courage, the stubborn insistence on dignity in the face of violence. Those are the same emotions that have always lived inside the blues. After Selma, you can hear that urgency sharpen in the music. More songs about freedom, more lyrics that refuse to look away from injustice. Now, let's turn to the political climate. Bloody Sunday wasn't just a moment of brutality, it was a turning point. The images from March 7 pushed President Lyndon Johnson and Congress towards the Voting Rights Act of 1965, a law that finally began to protect black citizens' access to the ballot. For blues artists, many of whom had grown up under Jim Crow, this was the political weather of their lives. They knew about poll taxes, literacy tests, and sheriffs who made sure black voices stayed silent. Selma took those local realities and forced the entire country to confront them. The blues had long chronicled racial terror and economic exploitation. After Selma, the same themes were heard alongside explicit calls for civil rights and black political power. Of course, no discussion of blues history would be complete without exploring the music itself. Back on March 7, 1917, the original Dixieland Jazz Band released a 78 RPM record for the Victor Talking Machine Company featuring livery stable blues. It's often cited as the first commercially issued jazz record, and that word blues in the title mattered. This wasn't the deep African-American blues we think of today, but it was a gateway. The record's success told the industry that there was money to be made in this new syncopated sound. That, in turn, opened the door, slowly and imperfectly, for black blues artists to be recorded and marketed under the banner of Race Records. From there, the recorded history of the blues began to take shape. This date also marks the birth of an influential blues-inflicted songwriter. On March 7, 1944, Townes Van Zandt was born in Fort Worth, Texas. Townes is usually filed under folk or country, but listen closely and you'll hear the blues all over his work. The spare guitar lines, the minor key laments, the characters living on the edge in songs like Snake Mountain Blues and Waitin' Round to Die. They echo the emotional starkness of rural blues. Van Zandt's influence on American and alt country helped carry blues sensibilities into a new musical neighbourhood. Even when the label on the record doesn't say blues, the storytelling, the vulnerability, and the sense that life can turn on you at any moment. That's pure blues DNA. And finally, we remember those who we lost on this date. March 7, 1999, West Coast blues legend Lowell Fulson passed away in Long Beach, California. After T-Bone Walker, Fulson was one of the defining voices of West Coast blues. Sharp guitar, strong vocals, and arrangements that blended jump, jazz, and R&B. He wrote 3 O'Clock Blues, the song that gave B.B. King his first big hit, and the classic Reconsider Baby, a tune so strong even Elvis couldn't resist cutting his own version. Fulson's bands at times included a young Ray Charles and saxophonist Stanley Turrentine, placing him right at the crossroads of blues and modern soul. His death on March 7 closed the chapter on a career that helped shape the sound of post-war electric blues. This date also marks the passing of Malian guitarist Ali Farka Touré in 2006, a reminder that the blues is bigger than any one country. Touré's hypnotic guitar lines and call and response vocals drew a straight line between West African traditions and the Mississippi Delta, making the case that the blues is a transatlantic story still unfolding. And that's all for today's episode of Blues Moments in Time. On March 7, we see bridges crossed under tear gas, records that opened new musical worlds, a songwriter who carried the blues into folk and country, and a master who left behind catalogues that still teach us how to blend a note and tell the truth. This has been Blues Moments in Time. Join us next time as we continue to explore the remarkable history of the blues.